Give it up for Ryan Ross. Or Ryan Ross. Ryan. Oh, man. I'm going to need a little help. Jake? Oh, yeah. 10 minutes and my feet fell asleep tonight.
Oh, shit.
Woo. Thank you. Thank you. Got it. There we go. Woo. Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Woo. That's why I was going to sit
Morg
there.
and I got a playful kind of distancing, but when it comes to like doing that, I totally get the old people thing. I was 21, a binge in a month ago. And then I woke up and I was in my 60s. And shit like that, you stand too long. I worked construction all my life. We'd stand too long, all day long. People are like, oh, do you go work out? No, but you carry a compressor up 67,000 steps. You don't need a fucking stair stepper. You know what I mean? Like, I used to have to go to the gym before I went to work because demons in my head would make me playfully punish all the guys I worked with. And then I went and did comedy till like 2 in the morning. Then I get up at 4 in the morning. And after a while, that war of attrition between you and sleep, you start to see gremlins in the corners. Just saying. Borg, I noticed that hair baldness, but Ramsey's head is looking exceptionally clean tonight. Yours is kind of old man, shabby. I just look like a Q-tip because I have hair still. I just shave it because it's a big drag. You know why? Why? Jacob? Because in prison, if you get into a fight, you got long hair, someone's gonna grab your hair like a bitch and pull you over and just punch you in the face. So you cut your shit so they can't. Pragmatic reasons for everything. I'm gonna sit too. This feels weird. But I'm an old man. I'm 66. When you're in your 50s even, you can delude yourself into thinking you're not an old guy. You're just some experienced, because you're still in the scale. From 1 to 10, you're in the 5s. That's the first half. But by the time you're in your 60s, that's like a roller coaster going over the big peak. It starts picking up speed. And basically, it doesn't matter what disease you get, life is such that the best you're ever going to feel is today, and then it's going to get incrementally worse from here until the point you die. Wow. Woo. Just saying. You know what I mean? If it looks more cost effective, I don't mind you cleaning out your account right now. Me, I could never do that. I don't care if I get to be a 100-year-old green pussy blob. I can't give in. I just can't. Because I know that my continued existence pisses more people off than the inconvenience of continuing life. So yeah, we went up to Northern California for a little bit. When they talk about the middle class in middle America, now believe me, I know I'm no God to look at. Or, Ramsey could probably use a few. And let me tell you something. You are a Reading 8.5, Ramsey.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. When they talk about the middle America, they're talking about width and circumference. I have never seen a more giant freak show, and that's why they're all driving trucks. It's not what they can put in the bed, it's just how much can this truck hold? Weight. When you see a clown car full of white people coming out, and the car visibly goes up when you're like, damn, that's like someone just unloaded a baby elephant. I mean, I don't know whether it gets cold, but the heat wave follows me and Tracy. And that's because we have such attitude, we burn out any humidity in the air. We went up there, record heat wave. You know when they go record? we got a record. Where's atmospheric river? It's just pouring over on us in a record heat wave, bomb cyclone. Where are you making up? I never heard any of these meteorological. I get it.
He's taking himself.
Oh shit!
You're filming now.
All around, all around, all around. There you go.
And for the sake of the camera, we're just doing a little tour.
See, I'm showing that you have audience.
So yeah, thanks for pulling mine. I have a channel too. It's at Brian Ross. But I guess the difference is I get like, if a good video gets 7 to 20, and I know why. You're not supposed to lead with, "Hey motherfuckers!" You don't do that, do you? No. Okay, so that's right. Just by virtue of someone making a mistake, yours gets more. When something gets no views, I'm like, you have not put this thing out for public consumption. You know, but I don't give a shit. Who cares? I cannot pander for likes or. Do you know a guy named David Berger?
Yeah, no, Dave.
Oh yeah, David Berger, yeah.
David Berger and I used to be really good friends. I mean, he
I'll have
was
to
a
tell him
really
you
good
said
dude.
hello.
But he kind of awoke me to the whole thing about the new digital culture. Back when Facebook was still fairly young and all this kind of shit, we had some word war where he ended up going, "How many likes did you get?" And I'm like the kind of comment that, hey, if I come up and nobody laughs, I don't give a fuck. In my head, the fake fantasy audience is roaring with laughter. And if you're not going along with them, you're not as smart. That's all I'm saying. But likes, and it becomes a real thing if you want to get your YouTube monetized. Like that dude, the PewDiePie. You would watch games, play like, you know what I'm talking about, on YouTube, and he made like $150 million from doing that, and went over and bought a house in Encino when he was like 16 and a half. By like 19, he's just out of his tree. You're thinking, you don't even know the value of a dollar or the meaning of life anyway, and you passed that whole, you know what I mean? I'm only talking to Renee.
I'm shaking my head. I'm listening.
And you're not listening, and Ramsey's like, oh man, I wish there wasn't stuff up there. I should have moved that. And believe me, I would be more critical of me than you guys are. On the whole, I come in here just saying whatever, and you guys just look at least politely civil, and you give me a funny little clap. And I am so grateful.
Yeah,
to good people like
all
that.
right.
I've had people throw shit at me. I was over in this one place in Fontana, and there was a guy in there who I'd seen, and he's real good, funny guy. I go, Steve, tell me, he was in a wheelchair, tell me about what happened. And he said he got hit on a motorcycle on the freeway and left there for a while. And then they took them and they got some money out of the hospitals, but it was too late and they couldn't save his legs. But he had legs, but they were paralyzed. And so I realized I had lost control of the room because you could hear a pin drop. But Stevie was talking about how he got hurt. And I was like, fuck, how am I going to do this? I go, well, look, Stevie. I go, you know what? If you can't feel anything in your legs anyway, let's get you some money out of this shit. We can go out back. I'll run you over with my truck a couple times and you sue me. And some people laughed, and then some people said, I'm going to kill you, white boy. And I had a couple like Latino looking communists. And I'm standing up there with a Corona bottle, full Corona bottles in my hand. I figured if this guy just runs the stage, I'm going to beat him on baby soft spot. But yeah, they didn't like it. You can say things at the wrong time in the wrong place, and I have tried to find every one of those places. Thank you. Yeah.
like your alligator. Full out of you. I fucking love it. I'm stealing that shit. I'm stealing that every time.
Oh my god. Woohoo, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. See what you're doing? You're doing it though.
Give it up for.
Give it up for Brian Ross. Yeah. He's always a wonder